Example called preserving the customer's sense of control. I learned this from probably the greatest actor in the history of modern film. Tell me who it is. Keanu Reeves.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Don't act like I'm wrong. So Speed came out in 1995, and I never wanted to go in an elevator ever again. How many of you remember when Jaws came out in 1975? Did you ever want to go swimming again?
No.
I was born in 80, I missed it, but that still scared me going in the ocean. And every generation has a movie that makes you not want to do something. How many of you saw Devil that came out last month? Holy crap. You will never want to go in an elevator ever again after seeing the Shyamalan movie. I peed myself. I immediately regret telling you that. But the reason I'm telling you that is about this button. A little dark, but can you tell which one it is? It's not down, it's the... Okay, close the door. Yes or no, closed door buttons work? Usually when you go to an elevator, you got your hands full of boxes and you're late, and you press the closed door button with your nose. What happens? Nothing. And then 7 more people get on, it's like a freaking clown car. And you're wondering if it actually works. Does it? No. Maybe. It does close eventually. I did some research on this and I learned 2 interesting facts, or I should say 2 interesting pieces about elevators. One is the fact and one is the conspiracy. What do you want first?
Conspiracy.
Let's start with a fact. The Americans with Disabilities Act was passed in 1990, and according to the homepage on the .org.gov website, the reason that closed door buttons are deactivated is because of the amount of time it takes for the door to close as pertains to the distance in the hallway, so individuals with disabilities don't get hurt by the door. So it makes total sense. That's why they deactivated them, because there was too many injuries. Totally logical. The conspiracy theory, though, if you think about it, why would the elevator company want you to press the button and think the door is closing, even though it's not? You have some control. Now, other than airplanes, elevators are out-of-control environments, but by doing it, it preserves that illusion of control. You press the button, think, oh my god, the door's going to close, this is great, I'm not going to be... Maybe that's just me. But when you close the elevator button, you have this illusion that you're actually controlling it, when in fact you are not. I did some research on human motivation in this particular handbook, and it talked about human beings, your customers. They operate out of this model, they want to be autonomous, they want to control their environment. And so the challenge for each of you, to be a hero to these customers, how do you keep them saying in the back of their mind, I'm in control? Special orders, financing, midnight madness. What can you do to preserve the sense of control? Let's look at a couple examples. Number 1. Now FedEx, when you send a package across the country, it's got to be there 8 a.m. Monday. You're freaking out because if your handouts don't get there for your awesome presentation, you're going to get fired. How do they preserve your control? The tracking. I love the tracking. I send books all around the world waiting at the presentation. If they're not there, I'm in trouble. So when you see this, you'll go, it's in Oregon. It's only 127 miles to California. It's going to make it. And then you find out that FedEx actually uses a different kind of driver. But this is what customers think if they don't have that tracking number. So my question is, when you do orders, what do you do to make them sure, even if it's not there yet, it's on the way? That's preserving control. Example number 2, hotels. This is the Cactus Inn. The Cactus Inn, Las Vegas, Nevada. One of my favorite hotels. And this has only happened in the past couple of years. But when it's 5 a.m. and you have a 7 a.m. flight, you're at the hotel, you're freaking out, you don't want to be late to the airport, what kiosks do some nice hotels put to make your travel experience easier? Really? You're going to love this. Print your boarding pass in the lobby. Whoa! Awesome! No stupid lines. I can just print it out now. I can walk straight on. Oh. So they preserve your control because if you don't have your boarding pass and you're in a rush in a travel situation, what's probably going to happen? This. My question is, how do you keep people informed? How do you give them a chance? Like the Apple Store is a perfect example. When you want to check out and purchase computers at the Apple Store, how do you do it? in that little handheld mobile device. There's no counter, there's no line. You just find a dude with a blue shirt, and he just checks out right there. I'll email the receipt, no problem, done. Last example. So in addition to the elevators, you have the airplane, another sense of being out of control. What they do, and how many of you have traveled internationally recently? Cool. So when you go abroad, on the screen, they do something. Because it's dark out the whole time, you're over the mountains or the ocean, they force you to close the blinds, and they dim the lights. You are jet lagged, you are dehydrated, you're potentially intoxicated, and you're kind of disturbed because you don't know what's going on. What do they put on the screen to keep you aware? Oh, I love the map. It's like Indiana Jones with that red light, and it goes on. You can see where you're going. Oh, we're over Finland. This is great. I never even heard of Finland before. Perfect. And it keeps you, oh, okay, looks like we're about halfway there. This is good. I can budget my time now. Now we can finish work. I can take a nap. It keeps you in control to prevent this from happening. And so the question for each of you is to start thinking about your daily interactions, whether it's online, email, paper, on the phone. What can you do to preserve their sense of control? If you guys are still with me, say cool.